So what is an API? So this stands for Application Programming Interfaces. So uh, with the trend in web services and web platforms and all of this, there's two different mentalities on this. So you have closed systems and open systems. A closed system traditionally won't let you look at the data. They won't let you get copies of it. You can't integrate it or pull data into your own kind of capacity. They might provide like spreadsheets, things like that. But if you went to platforms like Zapier or uh, like Microsoft Flow or Automate.io, you're probably not going to be able to connect your applications together to pull it together. Open systems, it simply means that they provide an API for you to either collect data, or some even let you perform operations that work against their kind of their functionality, but you can access it outside of the system. So examples for this would be like on your website, you have a submission form. It generates you an email and also gets entered into your CRM. So somehow that data movement happens. So um, all of this happens via APIs. To me, this is important to real estate because as investors, you kind of start out, you run very kind of small, tight operations, and you want to keep your hands off of doing things that you repeat while trying to use what we are good at, and that's kind of evaluating, making decisions on uh, data, and trying to make the most of our time and grow our portfolios. APIs also let you have immediate access to data. So instead of waiting until the end of the quarter to pull your accounting information down and provide it to your CPA, or like if you're wanting to pull something from your CRM and generate spreadsheets or analytics about your Zoom meetings, things like that, you don't have to wait for someone to do that for you, and you get more readily available access to it. Um, so kind of my goal here is to show that APIs let you spend more time thinking, less time doing. So kind of to visualize what APIs do, it lets our internet world kind of communicate together. This is standardized. There are standards in the internet community that kind of set a uniform way for companies to communicate with each other. Or if you have concerns with security, a lot of times, so make sure that it always happens over a secure channel, SSL, HTTPS traffic. Um, and also, they'll issue you a security token that kind of ties your data to you and will only let you access that. So the combination of those two things can help kind of alleviate any discomfort and worrying about your data going where it shouldn't be. So a lot of times you can go on the back end, generate these keys and use them. If you worry about breaches or things like that, you can go and regenerate it and then reconnect all your different services together. So a few benefits to using them. So you can import, integrate specific information. So this would be like you have leads coming. So Real Estate IQ will provide off-market leads, but let's say you're only looking for a small subset of that and you are tired of having to do the same steps in their spreadsheet. So you could build a system that imports only the properties in regions that you want and the price range you want into your CRM. And that way you don't have to do that step. And it's kind of quick point and click. And then you're only looking at your CRM. So it lets you prevent input error, data entry errors. You can automate if there's really hot deals, ways to notify you immediately, maybe wake you up. so that you're able to act on it before anyone that doesn't have these systems in place. If you're interested in monitoring your performance, let's say you're not exactly a real estate company, but you operate on the market. Um, Being able to pull metrics requires that you have your data readily available. So, one of the goals here is to be able to make sure that all your data is pulled together as soon as you have it, and then you can make quick decisions immediately and not wait for someone to have to pull that together or go to your 15 different web platforms that you use. So being able to pull different systems together, a lot of times you have things on Zoom about your attendees, and then you have your monthly sales, and without pulling those two pieces together, you can't really make sense of it. So um, these are all examples of kind of why APIs are important and can help bring you more value to your uh, operations. I do provide kind of examples of applications that do have an API. I'll actually pull up some documentation just so you can see if you're interested in seeing what you can, even from a high level, if you don't understand what you're looking at, the kind of the function calls, just big topic areas that you can see. So Zoom API, let's say you are hosting a webinar like Real Estate IQ. You have events that you can keep track of. You can go to reports here. You can see that you can pull meeting, let's see, meeting participants. You can see how many people registered, how many people joined. If you do series of meetings, you could have kind of your most active participants, pull together your poll questions, figure out kind of who comes and attends your meetings, and be able to associate kind of like the topic areas versus people that attend and things like that. So without digging in, exporting data, or just programmatically pulling this stuff, you can eyeball things, but if you really want truly to get a study on it, you kind of have to build out systems and ways to monitor it. And especially if you want to act quickly and more be able to exactly figure out how you're trending and not have to manually do the process, which pulling all this data together is very time consuming.